Can confirm Pink Floyd is YouTube safe, or at least the 2 songs in that video, because I already had it kind of uploaded and processed as a test. I was gonna go down and do stuff, but I am entirely too tired after work and paying some bills and otherwise relaxing, so I'm gonna just go to bed. And I'll do it tonight. I got the next 2 nights off, so I can play around a bit. Tonight, quietly setting things up, and then tomorrow, during the day, while the wife is at work, less quietly testing things. But yeah, I got the subwoofer wired up with the new phone cable last night. Haven't made sure it works. I was gonna do that this morning. I'm also having trouble with the tape deck. It was working last time I used it at my old house in Florida. It got boxed up. I hooked it up at my parents' house after like 3 years because they had some tapes they wanted to listen to. Couldn't get it working through their receiver in the time that I had to look at it, which wasn't very much. So I figured I just was doing something wrong, or the receiver was being weird. Same result here. It plays forward and backwards, both decks, but no actual audio output is coming out of the RCA jacks. At least not in the way that I can hear. So I was going to test the input on the amp, make sure it actually is the correct input, and set it for analog with my Bluetooth receiver here. Excuse me, tired. And if that works, then I know the cable's good, I know the input's good, I know it's on the right input. And then I know for sure the tape deck is kaput. Which hopefully it's just like a loose cable or something. So I could pop open up if I can access the screws, see if it's something silly. But I mean, it is got Dolby Pro Logic and all that, so it could just be a bad amplifier or something. It may just be dead. I will make the determination somewhere in this video. Good night for now. And back downstairs. So, yeah, the aux input on the amp is definitely working and definitely set up correctly because I plugged in my Bluetooth transmitter, which shockingly and somewhat annoyingly works better than the internal Bluetooth on the Marantz 7706. Once it's connected, it's fine, but it's always a chore getting it to repair. Like, it automatically pairs to the external Bluetooth because it's been set up before. But it never does that with the Marantz. It always have to turn it back on and have it resync. It's kind of annoying. But anyway, the phone works through it just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and try the tape deck again. But nothing's really changed. So it just seemed like the tape deck died. How or why, I don't know. Yeah, I guess these things just happen. The new subwoofer is connected and working. And it's correct home. I kind of remembered, but also kind of forgot just how much that thing kicks. It's not the smoothest or cleanest bass necessarily, but it throws out some low end. Definitely vibrates some things. Certainly vibrating that stereo cabinet now. So I gotta watch that, see if he actually needs to get moved somewhere else or if it's okay. More than likely it's going to do it regardless, no matter where I put them in the room. But once some other things get smoothed out, that might help clean it up. You know, maybe I'll run him at a lower volume or something. But yeah, so it's good to go. Goals for today is to kind of get the living room back to normal. We did move the table mostly where it needs to go last night, but not completely. So I want to get that moved and cleaned off. I want to get the boxes of glasses that are down here accessible and unpacked so we can put those in the bar upstairs, which will help clean off some room on the shelves down here for putting some things away. Would be nice if I can get the games off the floor and into their cabinet, which is going to be that bookcase over there. But that needs to get cleaned off. There's a bunch of random stuff in it at the moment. And I would like to get the bar cleaned off of all the random stuff that he has and get him set up properly. So yeah, that's already kind of a lot, especially considering I also want to go ahead and get the dishwasher emptied. But I had a full sleep yesterday. Slept all the way last night with the wife, plus my nap after work. Which means I'm on the completely wrong schedule at this point. But at least I have plenty of sleep. So I should be able to get a decent amount done if I stay focused. It would also be nice to take care of this today. I think I have a plan. I think there's enough space over by the shelving unit where the Christmas decorations go that I can stick it behind on the back wall. Not ideal. And we still want to get a cover for it. We actually bought one, but U-Haul never sent it to me, so I just had them refund it. So we got to get a mattress protector if we're going to hang on to it long term. The other thought is, and I don't think this is going to necessarily happen today, but maybe parts of it, is that speaker system upstairs, my old surround sound. I was thinking about maybe bringing it into here, since I got my computer desktop speakers now, so I'm going to be using the majority of the time. I don't really need anything bigger or better in that particular room. So I'm thinking he could go down here potentially on either side of the TV. Just have to scoot it down a tiny bit. Hopefully it's not in the way of anything. Or I could potentially put him on this wall. We'll see. See how it looks, see how it sounds. This room could use some more audio treatment. It's pretty echoey in here still. Also, the rack is over here now, which is what we were thinking about doing with it. You know, for dumbbells, towels, whatever. Originally we had it on the back wall under the electrical panel, which is what I wanted. But then the Bowflex was hitting it. It's clear on that wall, but I think I still want to try to flip it back to where it was and just move this forward enough to where it clears it, as long as it still clears the treads. So that also will probably be a plan for today. A lot to do. We'll see how far I actually get. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. When I hit play, I can hear like a little bit of a pop, like it's initiating an output, but there's no actual audio there on either deck. So it's got to be something that's common, like the output. Who wants to see the inside of a tape deck? This is the kind of project that is kind of useless and is going to eat up potentially a lot of my time if I get distracted by it. But I want to see what's inside, see if it's just something easy I can do with it. And this thing's solid. I take out all the screws I can find, and it still won't come apart. Now, granted, it's got screws on the side, or something, but either they're Torx or they're really tight. I can't seem to get those out. I don't know. Keep investigating, I guess. Okay, yes, the side screws do come off, but only one of them wants to. Either I don't quite have the right bit, or they're just really locked up in there. So unless I want to destroy the thing, which I don't really want to do, nor do I really want to do it right now, I think I don't care enough. That's going to be unlikely I can do anything once I get in there anyway. People are talking about needing new belts and things like that. Definitely not messing with any of that. Mechanically it seems fine, but whatever. I mean, they don't really care about these tapes. So it would have been a cool, fun little project to have a tape deck again. I think I'm over it. I'm going to put the screws I took out back in and call this good for now. I have better things to do. Well, I'm finished with that pain in the ass for now. I lost the screw temporarily. I did re-find it. Got all the screws back in. I hate tiny screws. And it was all for nothing. But it's back together. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Apparently the parts are pretty hard to find, so I don't know, maybe I can sell it for parts, or maybe I'll take it to a repair shop some year. I don't know. I only paid 20 bucks for it, so not the end of the world. Moving on to the rest of the projects I was planning today, after wasting like more time than I should have on this. I mean, to be fair, some of that time was spent troubleshooting my base, because just the front subwoofer didn't really seem to be doing anything like he was supposed to before. Seems like when I changed the configuration to add a second subwoofer, it threw out my Odyssey config. So I reverted that, which I guess made it a little bit better. And then I went in and manually re-added the second sub, which I think left the original config in place. I don't have to turn them back on, see if it's still working, but just not very productive day so far. Kind of just treading water. Well, as expected, I didn't get as much progress yesterday as I hoped for. But I did get the bed moved. So my wall has given birth and is now back to normal. Now I have to deal with all this, of course, now. The bookcase did get moved in here, and I think I have it set up in a configuration that'll work. Seems like the Bowflex moved forward a little bit, but it still seems to clear the bike, especially after angling it a little bit. Clears the wall, clears the stereo thing, so that'll be fine. And then back out this way, past all this mess. The bed lives back here now. As I was saying, the bed lives back here now. You know, I was prepared for the battery getting low yesterday. I had the spare in my pocket all day. Didn't end up getting to use it. And then I start today and it dies while the battery's upstairs. So anyway, this seems to work out alright. Originally we were going to get a protector for it. Like I said, we did buy one for the King to get transported, but they never actually delivered it. And then we were going to just buy one for this guy, but never did. And we've both decided we don't really care that much. You know, if it gets destroyed, whatever. We didn't pay that much for it, and who even knows when or if we'll need it. But at least it's here. Taking everything off the shelves isn't a horrible idea, because I do have more Christmas stuff to integrate from Florida. I got some more ornaments and stuff. I had to take the glasses off. Some of the shelves weren't really being utilized anyway. So I could use a reconfiguration and hopefully clear up some of this a little bit. I also, at this point, have collected too many empty boxes. I have a habit of hanging on to empty boxes for Christmas presents and such, but at this point, they're more than I want to really deal with. I also hang on to ones like for the lights and stuff, so I can have them for moving or shipping or whatever. But I need to reorganize those, figure out exactly what I want to keep, and put whatever I can behind the screen. So today's project will be reorganizing this stuff, hopefully finishing it. I did bring this guy down just now. I would like to try to play with the speakers in here, see if I can get them to fit in a way that I appreciate and like. Potentially behind the TV I had a thought of. I'll have to see. Don't really know yet. And I would like to get this dealt with today. And I really have to take care of the dishes. Outside of that, I don't think I'm going to get much done. These all need to go upstairs. They're the remnants of old backups and such. As far as I know, everything on them is on the server. But there might be a couple of hidden gems. The all-in-one computer is one of the few computers, well, one of my few new computers that's actually being used, that sells a CD DVD drive. I do have some of my old towers and stuff that do also, that I could, you know, kind of reactivate if I need to. But for now, they're just going to get moved into my office, so I don't have to deal with them down here. Got something else that was on those shelves that space can be better repurposed for holiday storage. I do work tonight, so that's why I ended up getting up. I did go to bed with the wife, but about 2 o'clock in the morning, I woke up because I need to get some sort of more sleep later today. to get back on my schedule, and I'm not gonna do that if I, sleep till 5 or 6 in the morning. I'm not enough anyway, so I'll probably work on this stuff till I don't even know. The problem is I'm figure like 1 or 2, and then I go to bed. But then the wife gets home at like 3 and wants to see me and hang out and stuff. But she's usually pretty good about leaving me alone if I say I really need to sleep. It just sucks because I'd rather hang out with her than be asleep for work that doesn't appreciate me. But whatever. But yeah, I would like to at least get this cleared back out for the theater. As long as I do that and the dishes and hopefully the game cabinet, I'll consider that a victory. I did also mostly get the bar set up. This is pretty much how I want it, outside of maybe a few minor changes. I got my planetary glass set down on the bottom that my former roommate Kevin got us. A lot of inherited glassware from the parents over the years, including all the Halloween stuff. Some mementos from like theme parks, like got a Marrakesh glass, which doesn't even really exist anymore. Sharks Underwater Grill, Margaritaville, stuff like that. And our wedding stuff from Castle in the Country. And our Old Mill cider trips. And back there is glasses from our Bavarian Inn that we do every Christmas. So it's kind of a mix of my wife and me, and then my parents and whatever stuff they've collected. The living room hasn't changed much, but it's not that much left in here anyway. Hey Simba. Alright, back to working downstairs, I guess. Well, while that technically works, it does bring the TV forward a little bit, which I don't love. Even if I put the other speaker on top of the subwoofer, and I put the sub over there, they're not going to be the same height. And it blocks the pony too much. Can't do that to Celestia. So what I'm thinking is maybe put him over here, kind of in front of the llama, if I can get him out of the way enough of the fridge. The other one can go over here somewhere. And then, because I got, floor space here, no big deal. And then the sub can go in between these two, and these guys can shift apart it a little bit. Here's how I like it next to the fridge, because it's the deciding factor. Well, that does work, and I think that's what we're going to go with for now. I'm not sure she's going to love being that close to it. But when we're both down here, it's probably not going to be on anyway. Or at least not the same volume levels. It's pretty in line with that guy. I don't need to move him over much to get the subwoofer in there. So that'll be good. I could even potentially move this over that way and put the sub on the end. Or really, realistically, I can put the sub wherever the hell I want. So maybe put the subwoofer back here. Just to keep that out of the way. And I mean, that was an option. I could put all the speakers back there too. And put the amp on the rack over there. But I think I like this better. I think I would prefer the sub in the front half of the room. Wouldn't have to move you much. And I got, enough space I could get away with it. And center can go in front of the TV. Surrounds, one could go up there. And I have no idea what I would do with the other one. Or just not even use them, because who cares about surround sound? For this area, it's just going to be music anyway. Suppose I could put up some kind of like little shelf or something. if I was worried about it. Options, but at least the front stage is the easy part. And then I was thinking I could put the computer back here now, on top of this guy, as an option. And then I can run the computer HDMI over to the TV, so I wouldn't have to worry about looking at the screen or dealing with that. But then I'd have to move it anytime I want to get to the electrical outlet. The other option is, you know, if I have to extend that cable anyway, it would be kind of a long RCA run. But I could put the turntable in here and put the computer in the other room. So that's an option too. Well, at least I found a better home for my monitor box instead of on the floor under the desk over there where water sometimes goes. That works actually pretty perfectly there. I like having that extra space, I think. I'm not really losing much off the floor. Makes this border actually a little better. And progress. So we got the 2 speakers down here so far. That's kind of where they're going. Seems like that works alright. This room's almost back to normal. So still got the bag of plush. This is almost entirely, if not entirely, video games. So those are probably going to go in the 2 drawers in that cabinet back there. At least the one, whatever fits, you know, that I actually might do something with. That box is the glasses that didn't make the cut for upstairs. So I'm going to try to shove them into there somewhere. I gotta see what can come out of here. It's either going to go in the booze dispenser, or maybe go in the bottom of the stereo cabinet, or maybe go in the fridge. Those tables need a home. Don't know what I'm doing with those yet. That is my Nintendo NES cabinet. It's got my games for that in there, as well as Game Genie and the Zapper and the controllers. So as soon as I find the NES, which I think is in one of these other gaming boxes, that might be fun. Audio cables I need to go through. These are all the laser boxes and stuff that need to get put away, plus some more games. This is all pretty much done. The deer are not going to probably stay there, but that's where they fit for the moment. This all shifted down a little bit, so I can't really keep the one deer there next to this pile of plush anymore. So maybe they will just live there long term, you know. They're about to come out for the season anyway. Printer is now on the floor because I've given up on him and he was annoying me and in my way. Put a nice gash on my old desk, moving him, but you know, whatever. I'm not really using this desk anymore anyway, it's just a storage shelf. So if he gets damaged, he gets damaged. I don't really care, he's already not working. And the parts are more than I'm willing to pay to try to fix it. I already have a good printer that I'm happy with, that I paid like less than the parts for that. Got some stuff on this shelf. So there were 2 under bed storage units. There's one of them. Those are going to go upstairs now that we have another under the bed, and get repurposed from holiday to seasonal, possibly holiday, you know, bedding and stuff, to be determined. But at the very least, it can go upstairs. It's a better use for the space. But at the very least, I need a break if I'm not actually done. Probably go upstairs for a bit, play some games, and then I'll probably do the sink. And then maybe I'll get to the video game, or the board game cabinet, but I think that might get pushed off to another day. So production, but not as production as I would like, again. Although I've been pretty busy, it's just taking longer than I expected. I decided I didn't really feel like moving the TV cabinet. It's already got the indentions in the carpet, you know, the floor, which makes it a little harder to move. And it does technically work here in the end, but it was kind of an eyesore, and I'm sure the wife wouldn't like it. So it's gonna go back there. Over there. It's behind the Bowflex, so it's behind me, because I'm the one that's gonna want the base anyway. It's out of the way. It's easy enough to run wires down the wall there into the back of it, and it just kind of blends in unobtrusively. I also like that it meets the bottom of that tile, so I don't have to worry about doing the other half tile there, which is good. And you know, it looks a little more intentional. I put the other full tile there at some point, which will get me pretty close to the molding. So yeah, that's that plan. One less thing to do. So I don't think I've told you guys what I plan on doing with the rest of this wall yet. Now that the marquee is here, what I was thinking is I have all these DVDs and such that I'm never going to physically use ever again. First off, 720 by 480 over it. Almost, if not all of them, will be or already are on the server. Should already be on the server. In at least DVD quality. Most of them have been upgraded to HD or 4K. So I have all these DVDs, and I don't really want to get rid of them for reasons. You know, special features, cover art, whatever. So I was thinking, I have this wall here. Why couldn't I just tape a bunch to the wall? Kind of like around the marquee. So we're gonna pick some of our favorites, you know, either have cool art or have special meaning or something, and make a project of decorating this wall with them. Just slap the boxes right on the wall. I think it'll look kind of neat. Maybe even I could do some up here. Yeah, I didn't even think of that at the time, but those almost perfectly fit. They're a little short. Do these ones work any better? Yeah, okay, so I could do those ones. You know, the stupid clamshell dealies. I like this plan. I didn't even think of that till just now.